Hello everybody, this is Joseph, the first J of Jmdjstudios, and this is another vlog. So more of me rambling to you. So I'm filming this directly after the very first episode, so I have no idea if I'll upload these out of order or what. But I decided to do one more tonight because I really wanted to do this one. I'm going to do some more tomorrow, but that's besides the point. So basically, I just Google searched 50 good questions to ask yourself. So I'm going to ask myself these questions, and then I'm going to answer them for you guys. And it'll be a really cool way for me to connect with you, or if you're a viewer, you can get to know me a little better. And it'll be cool for me, kind of therapeutic, whatever. Let's get started. Number 1, what are your nicknames? I have so many nicknames. Let's see. My name is actually Joseph, but I go by Joe, it don't matter. But Josephus, Joe Sniff, I've been called Josephine quite a lot. I'm not really sure. I gave myself the nickname the Game Guru at one point because I was going to do a YouTube channel like that, but I haven't done it yet, so I think that's about all of the nicknames. I've been called Joe Fry before. I've got a lot. It's just, some of them stick, some of them don't, but that's okay. Number 2, what books on your shelf are begging to be read? That's a good question. Books that I haven't got around to reading yet on my shelf, like right now on my shelf, Armada by Ernest Cline. Ready Player One was great, but I have not got a chance to read Armada yet, and it's killing me. Also, Go Set a Watchman. It started, but I haven't got to pick it back up yet, and that's a really good book. I've got a Sherlock Holmes book that I really want to read. Pirate Latitudes by Michael, the guy that did Jurassic Park. So I've got, those are the ones that are begging to be read by me right now, but I'm sure there's more. I'm actually trying to collect all of the Goosebumps books. I've read the majority of them through school and throughout my life, so I've read the majority of them, but I don't own them, and I want to own them also. How often do you doodle? What do your doodles look like? Interesting enough, I don't usually doodle. I used to doodle a lot when I was in high school or middle school, but I don't doodle as much now, and I don't know why. When I do doodle, it's usually stick figures and stuff. As far as artistically going, like I said, back in middle school, high school, I drew a lot. And I started getting better at it, but I just decided I didn't really want to do that, so I kind of stopped. But I do occasionally like to draw, and I like watching other people draw. Like, one of my favorite shows is actually Bob Ross. Like, I love watching him paint stuff. It's awesome. Okay. What do you do if you can't sleep at night? I have this problem quite often. For some reason, the camera's getting fuzzy. I have a lot of times I can't sleep. I don't know why I can't sleep. I film a lot when I can't sleep. I play games a lot when I can't sleep. As long as they're like games that are toned down, like Animal Crossing, or maybe The Sims, or maybe Harvest Moon, Minecraft, something that I don't necessarily have to put a lot of thought process into, so I can kind of relax. I'll also type. I write stuff, a lot of scripting, a lot of work on my book, a lot of other things that I do. Typing helps me relax. I have meditated before. I have actually exercised before, which is, I found out is not a good way to go to sleep. But my old mentality was like, oh, I'll exercise, I'll wear myself out, and then I'll be ready to sleep. And it actually just gets your body pumping and ready to go for something else. So. But anyways, that's what I do when I can't sleep, which is often. How many days could you last in solitary confinement? I personally think, and this might be a little dark here, but I think that I could last pretty much infinitely in solitary confinement. And I think, I work in customer service, and I have a lot of interaction with people, and basically I hear a lot of noise, and I think that, and I've made comments before to Mary Lou and other people, you know, I'm like, man, I'd love to be like in a straitjacket in a room somewhere and just be able to go, ah. There's something about, you know, like when I meditate, it's, you know, it's something about no noise, darkness, quiet, and you get to relax, truly relaxing. And I think that solitary confinement, it would actually be a healthy thing for a lot of people, and I think I'm one of those people. I definitely think I can do it. Don't know why that question's on here, but do you save old greeting cards or letters, or do you throw them away? This is all relevant. It all depends on, you know, who it's from, or did the letter, did it touch me, or was it just a signature, or what, or, you know. But I can safely say that I have probably saved at least one letter, whether it's a greeting card, a birthday card, a congratulations card, a thank you card, whatever, from at least one of every one of my family members who's ever sent me one. I've saved a lot from a really special person to me. Her name is Melissa Harmon. I used to go to church with her. She sent me a lot of cards and stuff. And during that time of my life, I was really depressed. I had a lot of, you know, problems going on. So those cards were like a light in the darkness to me. So I've definitely held on to those. I have saved every card Mary Lou has ever written to me, period. Even some before we started dating. So I've got all of those. I've got a lot from Michael and Drew. I've got a lot from Josh and Andrew. So a lot from my friends, a lot from my mom, my grandma, my Papa Letty. So I got a lot of cards like that. I'm very sentimental about things like that. If it's, you know, your standard card with just the name on it, most likely I'll just, you know, toss that one. But I have a drawer where I put those, so I can look at them whenever I want to. My Papa Roger taught me that. Who is the biggest pack rat you know? Me. Me. Hold on a second. This warrants a trip. Enough said. So, I will cut when I pick up the camera and after that, but what you just saw, that is my spare bedroom. Now I'm actually, you know, I'm going to be working on that. By the time this video goes up, it'll probably be a lot cleaner than that. I don't have a storage shed, and I've got a building outside, but the building leaks, so all of my storage stuff is in there. But I'm a collector at heart, so that, you know, that's my passion, so I collect a lot of stuff. What you may have seen while the glimpse of that room, you probably saw my sword and knife collection that I've got going on in there as well. And I've also got a lot of like vintage stuff, like I've got like an old sewing kit and some stuff like that going on in there too, so that's just me. But yeah, I'm definitely the biggest pack rat of anyone I've ever known. And making an entrance into a party, do you make your presence known, or do you slip in and look for someone? I don't party. I don't go to parties. I've never been to a party. I think Andrew threw a Halloween party once. It's probably the closest thing to a party I've actually been to. I go to birthday parties. But I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't go to parties. Those are just three things that I don't do. I don't hate people who do, but that's just not me. That's not something that I enjoy doing. So I enjoy doing the stuff that I do here, so that's cool. But if I did go to parties, I mean, I guess it depends who it was. If it was a bunch of people I knew, I would make my presence known pretty clearly. But if it was a party where I knew some people, I would definitely go to those people that I knew first. Is your strongest sense? And if I had to give one up, which one would it be? I don't know what my strongest sense would be. Probably my eyesight, because I can't hear worth crap sometimes. But I normally have pretty good vision. I normally catch things out of the corner of my eyes and stuff. But if I had to give up one of my senses, it would definitely be my sense of smell, because I need the rest of them to play games and thoroughly enjoy them. So I don't need to smell to play my games, so I think I'll pass on that. Plus, when you think about it, when you're sick, you can't smell half the time anyway, so... and I've got allergies, so not being able to smell would probably benefit me the most. How many times a day do you look at yourself in the mirror? Probably once. I mean, like today, like... I mean, I might look at myself in the mirror, like, after a shower, maybe, or I always do before I go to work, because I got to make sure I did a shave, teeth brushing, whatever I'm doing. I'd say about once or twice a day, max. Like this video, I didn't even look at myself in the mirror before I went in here to do this video, so. Okay, what is one guilty pleasure that I enjoy too much to give up? South Park. Who performs the most random acts of kindness out of everyone you know? That's a tough question, because I know so many people who do so many awesome things. My entire group of friends would be the answer to that question. We're all just friendly people, and I've seen them do so many cool things. Random acts of kindness and stuff. So it would definitely be my group of friends, I think that, Okay. How often do you read the newspaper? Very rarely. Which paper? It's a local paper. I don't know, the Free Press, I guess is what they call it around here. And what sections? The only time I read the newspaper is when I'm at work, and sometimes these people bring them in and I'll see it. So we'll be slow, or I'll be on break or whatever, and I'll see it. I'm like, hey, open the newspaper, go straight to the comics. Comics are first. Sometimes, if I see a topic that interests me, I'll read it, but most of the time it's comics and I'm done. Which animals scare me the most? Animals don't really scare me. Spiders and snakes. And bees. Those three... spiders and bees are technically bugs, but I'm going to count them anyways. But, honestly, if I saw a snake, I wouldn't be that afraid. Oh, I will take an animal that kind of scares me. Great horned owls. I have a bad history with great horned owls. Beautiful creatures, scary creatures. Look them up. Am I more likely to avoid conflict or engage it hands-on? Once again, this is on a, situational basis. If I can avoid conflict, then I try to avoid it, But if it's conflict that needs to happen, then I definitely engage it head on. If a situation arises at work where somebody is doing something they're not supposed to do, and I know if I go tell them, hey, you can't do that, it's going to cause a conflict, then that's a situation where I have to be like, I have to be like, no, you can't do that, I'm sorry, I have to do it. But if it's a situation where someone's being a jerk in my daily life, or someone's doing something that, no, quit. Someone is, they don't, I guess they don't mean to be, but they are, or they're doing something that's insensitive or something. In those situations, I try to, pretend it's not going on. I ignore it, or I'm just like, they probably don't mean it that way, so I'm not going to even tell them that they're saying it that way, 9 times out of 10, I will choose to avoid the conflict, or solve the conflict in a way where there's no conflict. So that's what I really like to do. What was the most recent compliment you've received and savored? I don't get that many compliments, to be honest. I guess when I'm writing a book, and I've let Josh and Michael and Drew and Mary Lou read it, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback from them. I've also got a lot of constructive criticism from them which is good. But the compliments mean a lot to me because, you know, I don't really consider myself a writer or anything. I mean, I've never published a book, but I have written a lot of stuff, and their compliments really helped me decide, you know, hey, maybe I should, you know, work on this some more. Maybe I should, you know, keep going with the series. So that's pretty cool. So that would probably be my answer for that one. What is something, this is number 18, by the way. What is something about yourself that you hope will change, but probably never will? That's a tough question, but the honest answer is I think a lot. And sometimes I call it thinking too much, where there will be days I wake up and I know as soon as I wake up, I'm in that mood. And I'm like, great, this is going to be a fun day because I'm going to overthink everything that day. And there's nothing I can really do to change it. I've tried. But, you know, those days I kind of get a little depressed sometimes. I'm like, but it's not really all bad, but it'll be like, you know, sometimes that helps me play games. I mean, sometimes where I'm overthinking, I play a challenging game, like a puzzle game or something, I can figure it out. So that's kind of where that comes from. But sometimes that is a difficult situation to be in. You know, I'll have like a memory from a long time ago, and then I'll remember that, and I'll be like, I'll just start thinking about it. I'll be like, well, what would happen if I did this, or what would happen if they did this, or, you know, and I'll start processing that, and it's pointless thought to me, but that's what happens. But it'll probably never change, but that is definitely something I would change. Are you a creature of habit? Well, yeah and no. I do like consistency. I like having a schedule. I like having plans laid out. But there's something about the adventure of not knowing what you're doing next, you know? Like, and that's also a good way to relax. Like, if I wake up and I plan a day to do nothing, it's like, I'm not gonna do nothing today. Then it's normally a really relaxing day for me. So that's what's really cool. But I do think I am a creature of habit because, you know, I collect things habitually. I go to work regularly. I do YouTube regularly. I have to schedule all these things together. I go to college and I play games. So that's what I do. Am I high maintenance? No, I'm not. Not really. I'm very adapt to change, and I am very laid back usually. Like, basically, you don't cross me, I don't cross you. Like, you do whatever you want to do over there, and I'm going to do what I want to do here. To each his own, you know? Stuff like that just doesn't bother me. I don't think I'm high maintenance at all. I think I probably should be a little more high maintenance, to be honest. But when was the last time you really pushed yourself to physical limits? I'm just going to say, I am fat, son. Like, I don't push myself to physical limits. Actually, being honest, being serious here, the last time I think I pushed myself to my physical limit was we were filming episode 2 and 3 of Fallout Season 2. And I got sick about 3 days before the day to film. And I was determined not to let the sickness stop me from filming. But we ended up going, it was an all-day thing, and by about 5 o'clock that day, I was like, yep, I'm feeling it. And we left Josh's house at about 7:30 maybe. By the time I got home, I literally took my medicine and went straight to bed. That's all there was to it. I was so, like, sick by the time I got home. But, you know, I really wanted to do it, and I love doing YouTube that much, but I definitely won't do it again because I don't want to push myself that hard anymore. But that is probably the last time I pushed myself that, you know, too far. Stress-wise, it's every single day that I go to work. Do I have a whole lot of acquaintances or just a few very close friends? And the answer to that question is both. Because I have a group of really close friends, like friends that I've known for years or since I was a baby or since they were a baby. like Drew and Joshua. Well, Josh was my brother, but still. Michael, Andrew, Josh, all of them I've known for a really long time. You know, they're my closest friends. You know, I feel like I could tell them anything, and it didn't matter how I tell them. It doesn't matter if I'm angry at them, or it doesn't matter if I'm, you know, depressed. I need a friend, I need a buddy, or if we just want to goof off. I feel like I could go to them with anything, and I hope they feel the same way. But you know, I have that close circle of friends. You know, I've been friends with every single one of them since elementary school, since they were born, or since I was born. All of my friends fit into those categories. Now, I have a lot of acquaintances that I've met outside of that group of friends that are still pretty close to me. They range from pretty close to, you know, not so close, but I'm still friends with them. People like Aaron Shockley, my friend Chris Davis, Jasmine Hancock, Andrew Mitchum from work. You know, there's a lot of people like that to me that I've met. You know, Justin Rose, Michael Hodges, Justin Mabe. A lot of people that I've met, you know, outside of my, you know, circle of friends that I still consider really good friends. Adam. Anyways, moving on to the next question. Are you more inclined to build your own empire or unleash the potentials of others? And I definitely want to unleash the potentials of others, because I don't think it's possible for me to do anything alone. I mean, if I wanted to, I could start my own YouTube channel, and I could probably do it all on my own. But I'm telling you, I've learned so much from Josh, from Drew, from Michael as a cinematographer, from Andrew and the way he thinks and the way he processes stuff. I mean, I couldn't have done this on my own. I couldn't have made this YouTube channel what it is to me on my own. And, you know, without teamwork, and I know from a fact, from work experience, if teamwork's not there, it's not good. It's definitely not good. It's not good. So I definitely think that groups together, focused on a goal, can do a lot more than one person can on their own. Well, it's a strange occurrence you've experienced but never or rarely shared with anybody. I don't know. I mean, a strange occurrence. That one I'd have to think about. I can't really think of anything that I haven't really shared with somebody. I don't really have secrets that I'm like, ooh, I can't tell anybody. I can't really think of anything. If I think of something, before the end of the video, I'll come back to this question. What do you think about more than anything else? Life, potatoes, and bacon. No, seriously, I think about a lot of stuff. Like, I think about so much stuff. Like, I addressed this in a previous question. It's particularly on those days when I wake up and I'm just like, it's one of those days. But I think about a lot of stuff, you know? Like, I can't think of any examples right now because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm really tired, but... and my allergies. I think about a lot of stuff. You know? And sometimes I think about some stuff I probably shouldn't. But I do. Yeah, sometimes it just pops in there and I start thinking about it. But it's like, I don't know. I ask myself a lot of questions. I ask questions about, you know, deep questions that don't really have answers. I don't know. I think about a lot of stuff, man. It's weird. I'm weird. What is something that amazes me? Cats amaze me. Animals amaze me. One thing that I love, this is Fireball. And bonding with an animal amazes me. That is something that I've always loved. I've always loved animals. I've always had pets since I was little. I'm allergic to cats, but I have 6 of them. I'm stupid, but that's besides the point. I love animals. I love bonding with animals. Being able to, you know, animals are a lot smarter than some people give them credit for, and you can talk to them and respond to them, and they know what you're talking about. They know what you mean. They know when you're upset or when you're happy or, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, Bob Ross amazes me as well. I think I mentioned him earlier in the video. Video games amaze me and the way they, are constantly changing and evolving. There's a lot that amazes me. Shiny things. Do I prefer that people shoot straight with me or temper their words? Definitely shoot straight. I'm one of those people that you don't have to sugarcoat things with me. Like if you want to say, look, I like your script and all, but it's crap, just say, dude, this is not going to work. And I will get that a lot better than if you take about 5 minutes to explain to me in a nice way, this isn't going to work. I definitely prefer people to, get to the point, give me the facts, give me the details, constructive criticism. That's what I like. There's a difference to me between constructive criticism and criticism. Criticism to me is just being me, just this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Constructive criticism is, well, this is bad, but this is why. Or this is bad, but you could fix it by doing this. That's constructive criticism. I like things that I can work with, things that are tangible, that I can, pull or stretch or redo or whatever. But I definitely like it when people are straightforward with me. I've always liked that. Where's my favorite place to take an out-of-town guest? I don't have out-of-town guests, but if I had one, there's not many places around here that I could take them, but the Overlook Park probably is the one that comes to my mind. Like, it's really good. If someone's interested in history around here, I would definitely take them to the Crab Orchard Museum, but that's about it. Walmart. What's one thing you'd rather pay someone to do than yourself? Mow the yard. I have allergies. I live in a trailer park that requires me to mow once a week in the summertime. So, I'm working 40 hours a week. I put in about 40 hours a week on YouTube. That's a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on that week. And I'm in college. And then I play games very actively. So, my time is stretched very thin every day. I have schedules. So, I schedule everything. And I never schedule enough time to mow the yard because I hate it. So, if I could pay, if I had extra money laying around to pay somebody to mow my yard, I would definitely do it, but I just don't right now. That's a fact of life. Do I have a catchphrase? Great Scott! I say it all the time. It's not really my catchphrase, but I say it. I can't really think of anything else that I say on a regular basis. I do say bacon grease a lot, but that's just more recent. But what's your reaction towards people who are outspoken about their beliefs? Okay. I have an open mind. I'm very accepting of other people's beliefs. I have a basic theory that, I don't hate on somebody for what they believe, even if it is the exact opposite of what I believe. I don't hate people. I'm going to use tattoos as an example, even though, let's just say, hypothetically, that I don't believe in tattoos. I have a lot of people that I am really close friends with that have tattoos. You get the point? But I don't care about tattoos at all. Like, it doesn't bother me. Tattoos are fine. But that was just an example. If someone came up to me and they were a straight up atheist, which is the opposite of what I am, then I would be fine talking to that person. As a matter of fact, I know a few. And we've actually had debates before, healthy debates, like, conversations about, why they believe this way, why I believe this way. And it's actually, it's healthy to do those kind of things. It's a good thing, I think, to see other people's points of views, even if you don't agree with them, and even if no matter what they say, it won't sway you one way or the other. You should definitely always appreciate their outlooks on life, where they've came from, what led them to their conclusion, because that's their conclusion. I'm very open about that. I'm very, I'm proud to be that way. I don't ever, discriminate against someone on their beliefs, unless you talk bad about Banjo-Kazooie. No. How and where do you prefer to study? I have an office chair and a desk. I have an office set up in my bedroom, and that is definitely where I prefer to do my studying. But if I'm not at home, if I'm at the college campus, their library is fantastic. Love it. Really good library. Best place to study. What position do you sleep in? I actually sleep on my back, one arm, and then Mary Lou. So, but I sleep on my back. It makes it very uncomfortable sometimes for my neck, but that's just how I sleep. What's your all-time favorite town or city? Out of the ones I've been to, probably, I don't know. I love Cedar Bluff as a town, which is where I live, because it's such a small town and it's such a historic town, and I love history. The town itself is beautiful, especially some of the back roads are beautiful, but just driving through town too is beautiful. I love Cedar Bluff a lot. I also love going to Myrtle Beach. I love the ocean. I love Myrtle Beach in particular. I've been to a lot of areas around Myrtle Beach, but Myrtle Beach in particular I really like. But that, out of all the places I've been, what are the top 3 qualities that draw you to somebody new? And I'll tell you what it is. Their outlook on life. Particularly if you are a relatively good person, like, you don't talk bad about people all the time. Like, you're not constantly saying, that guy's stupid, or that girl's stupid, or you're stupid. If you're not doing that, if you're, you don't mind what other people are doing, I'm definitely, drawn to you more. If you are a nerd about anything, I don't care if you're nerdy about playing video games, or if you're a nerd about football, or you're a nerd about music. If you are a nerd in any kind of way, I'm there. And if you're passionate about something, that's another quality. It doesn't matter what you're passionate about. If you have a drive to do something, or a passion, I love horses. I want to take care of horses, or I love video games. I want to collect them. If you're passionate about something, I'm definitely more inclined to be drawn to you, or to talk to you or something. Definitely. Those are 3 off the top of my head. Has your birth order characteristics of siblings affected you? Yeah, I would say it would, because I like being the older brother. Josh was awesome. I couldn't ask for a better brother. And being the older brother, I've been in several situations where I've felt the need to protect him. And being in those situations, like, I've saved him from drowning twice. And there's some other situations I probably shouldn't bring up, but I'm just not going to bring those up. But several situations where I've protected him, or I felt the need to protect him, or step up, or do something, to intervene. And I feel like that's made me more responsible as far as that goes, but it makes me appreciate people more. It makes me appreciate him more. So definitely, I do definitely think it affected me, and I hope that it affected him in some positive way too. If you could eliminate one weakness or limitation in your life, what would it be? Money. No, if I could eliminate money, then I would be in a much better situation. Or another limitation in my life that I consider is work. I don't like, I'm just being honest, my job is very stressful. Is that a button? I don't know what that means. It's very stressful, so I'm constantly finding myself in places that I don't want to be, or doing things that I don't really want to be doing, but that's okay. It's a job, it's living, it pays my bills. But that being said, those are definitely some things I would eliminate if I could. My allergies is another weakness I would love to get rid of. If you could restore one broken relationship, which would it be? I have very few broken relationships with people, and the ones I do, I have very good reasons behind. I don't cut off contact with somebody over nothing. It takes a lot for a person to cross that point with me, because I'm very tolerant, I'm very patient, I'm a very, just genuinely, I'm just one of those people. So I don't have one, and that's because, most of the, like I said, most of the ones that I do have a relationship with, that, I talked to this person before, whatever, and I, no more. There's a reason for that, and it's very few. I'm talking like 2 people maybe. So if you had to change your first name, what would you change it to? Josephus. I don't know what I would change it to. I really don't. I don't know. If I had to change it to something other than Joe, I would change it to Banjo. I really don't know. I don't know what I'd change to. Mario or something. I don't know. It'd probably be from a game. Do you believe ignorance is bliss? Well, yeah and no. I mean, I guess it depends on your interpretation of what that phrase means. But I mean, I guess it could go either way. Like, if you want to play a really bad game, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on the Wii, don't play it, please. But if you want to play a really bad game, if you don't know it's bad and you play it, you're going to hate life more. However, if you knew before you played it, that would lessen that blow. It wouldn't feel as bad. But on the flip side, if you played a game like Chrono Trigger and you knew how good it was and you played it, your expectations might be set too high and you get a lower experience. But if you play Chrono Trigger and you don't know about it, you'll get much higher expectations. So I guess it depends on, like I said, it depends on how you look at it. What would you consider unforgivable? My belief system is that, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could have something that I would honestly be like, can't forgive you ever for this, because it's just not how I am. That's not how I believe. So, skip that question. Have you forgiven yourself for past personal failures? Some, yes. Some, no. I think that's the honest answer for anybody who's human. Basically, there's moments in my past. I have a lot of times when, like I said before earlier in the video, where I will think back to a past event and I'll start thinking about things that could have been done differently. And I think the moments that my mind travels back to in those situations are definitely ones that I haven't forgiven myself for on some level. Even if it's nothing bad, it's like I said nothing in the situation, but maybe I should have. I didn't do anything wrong, but maybe I could have got a different outcome if I would have said something, or done something, or whatever. So that would be the answer to that question. How difficult is it for, this is 43, how difficult is it for you to forgive someone who refuses to apologize? Not that difficult. Honestly, if me or Mary Lou get into a fight and she says, I'm not apologizing, I usually just go, well, I'm not either. That's just being honest. But usually, if I'm in a situation like that, and I've been in a few before, I think everybody has, but normally for me, with a short passage of time, I'm over it. So, do you hold any convictions that you would be willing to die for? Not exactly sure what that means, but there's actually quite a lot that I'd be willing to die for. If I'm not if I saw a little kid about to be hit by a bus, I would definitely try to save both of us, but if I couldn't, I would definitely save the little kid. If I was in a robbery and he's like, I have to kill somebody, I gotta keep at least one hostage, I would probably volunteer myself to be that hostage. because I would be like, my life versus 18 or 20 or however many, or even if it's just me and another person, I'm more likely to be like, hey, take me instead. So, I guess, I don't know if it was how I was raised or if it's just the way I believe, but probably because